Spotlight series. So, boardrooms are the place where fortunes of amazing and great companies are written, and we bring to you those unheard member stories where all the pillars of these good governance, whether they are promoters, founders, independent directors, CEOs, CXO, women directors, everyone plays a very, very crucial role in terms of their own contribution towards the boards. So, welcome to the Member Spotlight series, and we bring you these conversations with these kind of leaders who have shaped the industries, who have kind of continued to be guiding the modern boards with clarity, with thought. And with this, I invite each one of you present here to explore the platform of Mentor My Board at www.mentormyboard.com, which is a learning ecosystem in itself, a board advisory insights which are present on the platform, focused boardroom trainings that we do for corporate boards, curated communities that we have for directors, all who are navigating the complexities of modern governance ecosystem. And with this, we also share some stories of our members under the Spotlight series. So let's together explore these insights, the learnings, the experiences, and the hard earned wisdom from these leaders who have shaped the boardrooms, the organizations of tomorrow. And today we are super lucky to have with us Mr. Nageswaran Narayanaswamy, who is a life member of Mentor My Board, who is a certified independent director, and his contributions to board leadership, to ethical stewardship, to the corporate governance landscape resonates across industries. And in this conversation, I'm sure you will unpack not just what is governance on paper, but it will come live in moments of challenges, in live in moments of changes, strategic decision making, and whether you are a board member, an executive leader, or a governance enthusiast, this episode will promise you to bring perspectives that will inspire you, challenge your thoughts, and elevate how you think about leadership and impact. With this, I would like to understand from you, Nageshwaran ji, about your journey, your professional journey from finance and entrepreneurship to the current roles, that you have been taking up. So, a very warm welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nehaji. And it's a very huge, big welcome message for me. And I think I hope I will live to that by taking up some of the questions from you, and also put it across in such a way that, because maybe I don't know whether we have any other members who can come up to that. I mean, of this differential thing, because more than my own company's membership, I mean, board, in which I had around 7 boards, in which I had been at some point of time managing the entire thing up to between 1995 to 2017.
Okay.
Thereafter, as an insolvency professional, as the IBC, if the people know that way, that we replace the board. First thing on that is, when the company comes into the insolvency structure, we first replace the board, and we become the board in board by ourselves. And
Right.
overall, then we will have to carry on. The members are there, not that they are immediately removed, but they are also supposed to be co-opted in and continuing the restructuring. If the restructuring fails, dissolve and liquidate and dissolve. And all the areas I have been doing in the last near about now 8 9 years, I have been doing this thing, and which almost about 25, more than 25 companies details I have already completed. And at the moment, I am, along with my colleague, in 14 of the boards in managing the companies and trying to restructure them within the time limit being given under the IBC. So all these things we will talk about, and over a period of time through your, while answering your questions. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure this amazing experience that you would be sharing with all the participants will be kind of a very different experience altogether, because this side of boards is not seen by, majority of the people. So definitely it is going to bring in a lot of experience, a lot of shared stories and, conversations which you would have had in your career. And I'm super excited to kind of delve deep into this conversation. To understand rightly, you have somewhere around 30 plus years of corporate governance experience, board leadership kind of an experience. Is that true?
Yeah, almost, yeah, more than 30 years now.
Wow.
Technically, from 1995 to now 26, around 31 years of experience I have got in the corporate leadership, because in 95, I started my own company and I became my own board member at that point of time, a small company.
Wow.
And after leaving the banking at the age of 41,
Hmm.
I chose this path. I had my own company in handling foreign exchange, and because that was my forte when I was working in State Bank of India.
Hmm.
Thanks to which gave me the entire knowledge of foreign exchange, even today, which I pursue to a maximum thing for my own experience and understanding.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, when you say 30 plus years of experience, I mean, that's 3 decades of experience, more than that. What have been those most transformative learnings for you in this entire experiential journey? And was this organization that you kind of built up, was it a private limited, or was it, what was the structure of this organization?
Yeah. Initially, yeah, it was a private limited only. It for from 1995, one by one, by 2002, I had promoted 7 companies,
Wow.
and in different basic matters were the underlying was the foreign exchange, except in one company where it was a manpower placement for abroad positions.
Hmm.
So that was also there. The VKC Siksha was the name of the company, and apart from that, everything was based on the different levels of foreign exchange we were trying to provide. And in 2003, we made first company VKC Credit and Forex as a closely held public company.
Wow, that is.
Closely held public company at that point of time. Even during that time itself, when there was no requirement to have an independent director,
Mhm.
I thought that it is always better to have somebody who has got knowledge in our own field,
Hmm.
involve them, bring them into the board, and make them as an independent director. I had 2 of them from other areas and who were earlier in the foreign exchange in different fields. I had brought them into my company, and they were independent directors for about 7 years. So it also worked out, and actually, even in one case, because he was already 75 plus, I got a specific permission from Reserve Bank of India, because I was running a company with a Reserve Bank license. So for everything, I had to take their permission, which they also were ready to give and carried out. So it was a different experience of that level. And thereafter, from 2017, after becoming an insolvency professional, thereafter, from a small board to public limited boards, for everything we have been, because the company, when it comes into insolvency, when and it is handed over to us for restructuring or for finding a proper solution to liquidate the company and dissolve, and then we naturally replace the board, but board powers are exercised by us, with the board members being kept intact. So that was also a cross experience, because somebody who was in the reign and who was exercising so much of powers, when we say that you will have to co-opt with me, work, but you don't have any powers to vote and things like that, that itself takes around 2 3 months to convince them to work along with us. But we
Absolutely.
have been able to do that, and to our credit, in fact, we have been able to find a good solution, restructure some of the companies with a large workforce of even 3,000 plus employees.
Hmm.
And we have been able to restructure, get along, and with the overseeing by the court, NCLT, also up to Supreme Court, because everybody ever can take everything to the court
Hmm.
nowadays. All Many of our decisions have been challenged in the courts,
Right.
and we are now adapt with all the courts in India, from the lowest to the highest. So that also.
Nageshwaranji, can you hear me? Let's wait for Mr. Nageshwaran. I understand there might be some net challenges. Let's wait for him to kind of resume back. By the time I think Mr. Nageshwaran is still kind of figuring out and joining in, let me give you some brief about what we are doing at Mentor My Board and what are the different activities that we do. So we have a community of women board leaders who already sit on boards as executive directors or as independent directors or as advisory board members to a lot of boards by the name Womb Circle. Under this Womb Circle, we are kind of taking a lot of initiatives in terms of mentoring, in terms of policy advocacy, in terms of the research that we have to do. So any one of you who knows a good or a person who is a director already on boards, we recommend you to refer them to the Womb Circle, and that would be something where we would be happy to have more women. Our vision is to have 10,000 women with one vision and one circle, under one circle. So that is what we are doing under Womb Circle. Apart from that, we also have a lot of things as the corporate boardroom trainings that we do for different organizations on different topics of uh, corporate governance, you can say, majorly covering or focusing on the DPDP Act, the various labor laws that have been recently changed, on various aspects of governance, which includes risk management, which includes strategy, board culture. So, any one of you who is looking forward to having more and more, board trainings and mentorings for your own boardrooms. So yes, definitely Mentor My Board is that one solution where you can definitely reach out to us. We have 125 plus mentors on the platform of Mentor My Board. So there are a lot of sessions that keep on going in. Mr. Nageshwaran ji, welcome back.
Yeah,
Sorry
we
that,
lost the connection. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so I was explaining that because of the things situation is that way, that board members or the board being taken to task by every one of the stakeholder is a different experience, which definitely I never had even in my own boards. So
Hmm.
that is the difference that I have been facing. That's a experience that I have got of that.
Wonderful. So, this brings to me a thought about what are those key differentiators between the average boards, or so to say, not that great boards, and the top boards of India, the top, governed boards of India. So, what are those key differentiators according to you? Because you've seen both the sides, right? So, what do you feel, in your view, are those differentiators?
Yeah. What is the main difference on that is the board members, probably their mental makeup. As I can take it from our own side, when I had my own boards for about 7 companies and things, and the different members were there, depending upon some of them, even from my own employees elected as a board member. That was also there. So what we need to have for such a situation is that the board members should approach the topic in such a way. That is what I have found out, that not that all the problems are definitely can be handled only by the board members, and they do not have the wherewithal to understand the or give a solution for everything. So what is required on that is they will have to keep their antenna up and ears and eyes open,
Hmm.
and what is being talked about anywhere in the related to the industry and what is happening. It may or may not be even within India, outside also, because nowadays the transmission is so fast. What is happening anywhere, maybe in US, comes to Indian side within next 10 minutes maximum, and it affects every one of us. And that
Absolutely.
particularly I have faced it to do in the foreign exchange part of it, because most of all the almost except one company, all the companies of mine were based on the foreign exchange,
Hmm.
which was moving 24 hours, 365 days, even on a holiday.
Hmm. Hmm.
One country or the other was always working. So
Hmm.
based on that, we have been always taking up decisions. So we will have to have our board priorities
Hmm.
taken up in such a way that we need our long term strategy, which also should take care of the short term goals, and but at the same time do not get bowed down of your short term goals and short term challenges,
Hmm.
and take it as it comes, and do not react too much to the short term turbulence or anything,
Hmm.
and be focused on the long term thing in such a way that sometime this short term challenges will become our own strategic assets.
Right.
And
Right.
that's how we convert it is the board's thing, and their capacity and capability is depending upon that. Instead of getting bogged down by that, how to maneuver around and make it into an asset in such a way that next time or similar to that, anything else is happening, we should not. Probably in smaller companies, smaller boards, as I have seen very small boards of small companies with some 10 crores of capital and things. And I have also been handling now even 2000 plus crores of capital
Hmm.
companies under the restructuring and matters. Now, what happens on that is maybe the size of the problem could be monetarily could be differently placed depending upon the size of the financial thing of the company, but the strategic nature of the problem characters are similar. That
Hmm.
is what I have been practicing in both the models in such a way that, okay, this is a model, maybe this is a big amount, but similar to that, in a smaller amount, smaller thing, we have been facing it. What is the challenge we faced and how we came out of it? Same model, same thing, we try to work around here. It
Hmm.
works. This is how, at least in my perception, the boards are the persons who will have to take the challenges instead of shying away from that.
Absolutely.
That
Absolutely.
is shying away from that and try to take any short term differences and try to bow down and get out of it. On a later date, I have faced it myself also. On a later date, it will come back to you in a bigger form.
Hmm.
At that
True.
point of time, you will find it that probably you could have handled it about 6 months earlier itself when it was smaller.
Right.
So
Right.
that is where. So if we had handled it, it becomes. I mean, it's a good asset. When it again pops its head, we can take it out. But at the same time, if you bow down to the problem now, it will permanently be behind you, and you will at some point of time face it as a big challenge. This is what actually personally also I have felt it, and later on I learned this lesson. That is the
Absolutely.
takeaway from the managements of boards.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's the
So
thing.
interestingly, this also reminds me of a framework, the PESTEL framework. I'm sure you would have heard, which is very relevant for the boardroom discussions, the governance oversight, the risk management that we call as, the political, the economic, the social. technological, environmental, legal aspects which a board must understand, which a board must take into consideration before taking any of the decisions, whether long term, whether short term, having that appropriate alignment of strategy with the long term external realities, as you rightly mentioned. So definitely, what you said makes a lot of sense for the boards currently, and this also kind of uh, uh, makes me think about the approach, the constructive tensions in
Tension.
the boardroom discussions, particularly when the visions or the strategies amongst the members differ.
Yes.
So, how is it that board members should approach such a situation?
Okay, see, I would again taking my thing on that is as at least because I had been on the helms of affairs of that on both sides, and particularly presently, as I was explaining the present thing, situation under the IBC matters where we are heading taking the board's thing. The
Hmm.
challenges are much more because in the normal boards, normal thing, it's all finally taken down only in a piece of paper, discussion details of it. Whereas under the present situation of restructuring under the IBC matters, the board, that is myself and along with my friend, we are the board, okay,
Hmm.
along with the regular board members, we will have to face on a month on month almost on a meeting with the committee of creditors. The committee of creditors are the people, even though we have the, I mean, today financial committee, I mean, people only. Now, operational people are also brought in into the committee of creditors because if they have at more than 10%, so many rules and regulations. And apart from that, wherever it is necessary, we need to invite. This is what I told. Instead of, bending the matter, going down the matter, we always invite the problem making, let us say the government agency, for example the income tax, for example any governing body of a government department and things, we invite them, take them into the matters, because they definitely have a different ideas approaches to the thing. So when we co-opt them, we try to take across, because without them, if we get into a restructuring, get into a finality of the thing, and even if we get a proposal approved by the court, tomorrow again they will go before another higher forum and they will challenge this particular thing which we would have been doing for the last 8 months to 10 months. And that entire 8 months to 10 months work will get sabotaged within no time when a stay order is being given by the court.
True.
So, in fact, even in my own earlier boards, the strategy might not have been a bigger issue because it was all known.
Hmm.
But most of the times now, which is this is again today for many of the boards also, this is the problem. Unknown areas, what you get from unknown areas, the flyers that you get from unknown areas are the most difficult things. So, if you are able to visualize it, it will be better. Sometimes that
Absolutely.
is what is the thing. Visualize it better. If you are not able to visualize it, at least as it when it pops its head, allow the matter to be fully come out, face it, and take it out. That will be the best strategy, is what my suggestion to any of the boards, rather than just leaving it for the time being. We will meet when the matter comes at a later stage, go through that. It does not work out, is what my personal finality which I have achieved in all these matters.
Right, right, right. So there are a few terms that are, I would say, more so heard about in the recent past. So, for example, ESG being one of them,
Mm.
AI being one of them, AI technology. I mean, all of those terms which are very new age to the boardrooms, right? So now looking at ESG and the stakeholder expectations at large, how should the boards adapt without losing that strategic focus, without losing the business aspect of it? How must boards focus on the best for the business without losing the strategic focus, and also gaining the confidence of all the stakeholders around?
Yeah. There are two parts, if I can take it from your question. One is the ESG one. The other is the AI.
Hmm.
Okay, majorly these are the two matters. In a small or big way, every company is getting into these areas. Whether it is okay, ESG, if it is a smaller company, they are able to manage it without exactly even understanding what is the extent to which it is being, it is affecting them in the ESG matters. Whereas
Absolutely.
AI, it is automatic nowadays. For example, I can tell you because yesterday only I had a big discussion with the chairman of NHA and the group board members there, because they have been now introducing, as many of you might be knowing, that the NHA has come out with a 3,000 rupees pass. For 200 times you can cross a toll plaza where you pay only 15 rupees. So that is 200, 3,000 divided by 200
Hmm.
times. Now, my toll plaza, I have got three toll plazas in my control now, three toll roads, and with six toll plazas. Each one has got 65 rupees to at least 140 rupees toll entry. But as per this plan, the toll plaza will be getting only 15 rupees if
Okay.
you look at it overall on that model.
Hmm.
But the government came out with a circular that they told that they will work out a toll plaza constant. There are certain numbers, details that they gave it. And we were happy that the toll company in which we are now managing, we were the first one to sign up with NHAI when they came out with the supplementary agreement that we are agreeable to introduce this model into our thing. And now we found that after, because this is the AI, they may based it based on, taken it on the AI base,
Hmm.
and they have done some calculation, and they have also involved some good study part of it and things. So then we found that we are not actually losing, and that is what we proved yesterday only actually with the thing. From this has been introduced from August 15th. Many of our people might be knowing. Now, in the last 4 months, we proved that in all our toll plazas, the incremental income is averaging between 12% to 42%
Hmm.
average income in the toll plazas, which was expected that in a place of 140 rupees, I am getting only 15 rupees. This was a stakeholders thing.
Hmm.
Every stakeholder, particularly the promoters, the bankers, everybody was fighting it out, saying that no, no, you should not agree for this because your income will go down and your getting a resolution plan will be affected. No, then finally we proved it and we signed up and we now are in the thing. Yesterday, that was the discussion we had. Why I am talking about this? That is, we understood the artificial intelligence background that they used in finalizing this 2,000 rupees, 3,000 pass for the toll plaza users by the non-commercial vehicle passengers, the car, jeep, van. And again, this is one AI based. We understood that AI thing, even though it was a smaller idea, but we good took it. Similarly, on the ESG part of it, many of our companies think we have been also asked by the people that have you introduced, because this is one thing which we are supposed to bring it into the resolution plan, and when the resolution plan is submitted, we are supposed to take care of the ESG to what extent in the going forward these companies will be responsible and how they are going to implement it. So
Right.
understanding that also became a real issue. And today I would say that in all the companies where we got a restructuring plan approved, along with this ESG also being taken countered and taken care of, now we find that this is something which we need to really take along all the people, particularly the stakeholders from all the sides, and ensure that our strategy and our long-term goals are not affected by that, which if you really finally go through that, it is not getting affected. This
Right.
is how we found out.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. You have been kind of, a very active member of Mentor My Board. We've been doing a lot of, directors meet in various cities where you were part of one of the meets as well in Chennai, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to understand How has been being part of Mentor My Board influenced your board leadership perspectives or expanded your professional network or the contribution that it has made to your leadership journey?
Yeah, I will take this question from the last one. Leadership journey, exactly, yes. Because as I told you, when what I have been hearing from various conversations, interactions with all the other board members or other the programs that MMB has been organizing, whatever I heard, whatever I think, in a subtle way, somewhere it gets into the mind, and when it is required, I have found that it comes to the point that okay, yes, this is what we have been hearing. So and so, in one of the meetings, we heard him talking about it. Why not we try that?
Right.
So this is something, an experience which definitely comes better when somebody has already gone through that. We don't have to invent the wheel once again. The wheel
Absolutely.
is already found. Only thing how to use it in our capacity, in our area, we will have to do that. So that is the last one that I could take it up. Naturally, because of that, I have already expanded my interaction with other members, people onto the thing. And as you rightly you are talking about, I am a part of all the groups in which the participation is coming around, and I in at time sometimes takes about 15 to 20 minutes a day to go through, scroll through all the postings and things. But at some point of time, comfortably, when you are traveling, when you are taking, you do that and store some of the important things, jot down. It makes a use of it and connect with them and understand in a way what is much more required there. So overall, the board membership and my lifetime membership into this, because right in the first time I decided that I will become a my lifetime membership into this. So it's a good decision. What I think, and I think that okay, I am part of this MMB, and that has really given me a lot of experience, much more than what was the experience I gained in my first 25 years, 20 years of my own boards, because it was all a smaller area, smaller things. Whereas now I am able to get across with so many understandings of people from various boards. So that way, yes, MMB it definitely has given me a lot of things to further learn, because learning is something which can come to an end only at the last day of our life.
Absolutely true. In fact, the last minute of life, I would say, because till that time you are continuously learning something or the other from everyone that you meet.
That's right. That is true.
True, true. And true leaders are people who are, lifelong learners as well. So
Learners.
definitely that
That is true.
adds to it.
True.
Any piece of advice that you would want to share to the next gen entrepreneurs, promoters, founders, who are kind of, coming in, getting into this ecosystem of governance? So any last piece of advice that you would want to share to them?
Yeah, in between, as I was telling about the thing, the board members are not the only, one people who can really carry along entire goal, entire thing of a corporate or the company for which you are trying to be the board member and things. What is required on that is understand what is really needed by the company, and what is it that you know about that, and is there anything that you need to learn about that further so that you can contribute to that, instead of trying to say that okay, this much is the thing I have learned, so this one I will put across. There is no question of that. The board members will have to take it up in such a way that okay, this is one more learning point. Whenever I am getting into a boardroom, any of the matters, as I was telling, any of this meetings and things, today I am getting into this. Okay, this is the agenda, these are the things. Particularly some of the agendas, we will be marking it out and saying that okay, there is going to be some takeaway in this particular discussion, in this particular point. Let me contribute to that and take also contribution by others, co-opt with them and take the matters in such a way, together we make it a foolproof board into for getting the future of the company reinforced.
Superb. I really loved the last line that you made. Together, making the future of the company reinforced. That is
Reinforced.
such a powerful thing that you mentioned. I mean, it encompasses all the experience that you have, and it encompasses so much of vision
Mm.
for these promoters and founders for sure. So
Sure.
thank you so much for being here with us, Nageswaran ji, for sharing so many insights, a different side of the boardroom altogether. And thank you, each one of you who is joining in here virtually and, attending this member spotlight regularly, hearing or listening to the insightful conversations. So, if today's discussion have helped you think differently about maybe technology, innovation, board leadership, we would invite you to stay connected to Mentor My Board. And until next time, continue learning, continue leading with purpose, and continue shaping stronger boards together. So,
That's it.
see you all on the next time in the same Spotlight series. And thank you so much, Nageshwaran ji.
Thank you, Nehaji, for drawing me out, because it is mostly the questions that you asked draw out more of a thing. See, question has to be powerful for getting the answer also to be, if at all, powerful. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much. Your answers made me kind of, bring in those questions more and more to you.
Thank you.
So, kudos to you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
See you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.